If you have a budget of 17 to 18 lakh rupees for a compact SUV, you are stepping into a market defined by heavy compromises. You have to choose whether you want a car engineered to give you high fuel efficiency and sleek city looks, or a vehicle built specifically to prioritize raw structural safety and massive storage. That dilemma brings us directly to the Tata SUV in the Pure Plus trim, which costs exactly 17.6 lakhs on the road. Tata holds a specific reputation in the segment. Buyers routinely praise their intense crash safety, but that praise often comes paired with serious doubts about heavy, sluggish engines and hit-or-miss dealership experiences. This 17.5 lakh decision tree splits into two paths. The left path, representing Korean rivals, is for fuel-efficient, aerodynamic city commuters. The right path, Tata, leads to a heavy, fortress-like family hauler engineered for maximum highway impact protection. Buying this 17.6 lakh Tata variant means actively choosing which penalties you are willing to absorb to keep your family safe. The foundation of this Tata SUV is its heavily reinforced chassis and unusually thick sheet metal. One owner recently took a severe rear-end hit at a red light from a Maruti Desire. The Desire's front end crumpled completely inward, crushing the engine bay. The Tata took a single scratch that wiped away with a cloth. That structural rigidity is paired with 6 standard airbags and a mandatory safety interlock. The vehicle simply will not drive unless the driver's seatbelt is fastened. But hauling that rolling vault of steel around requires immense engine effort, and that penalty is paid directly at the fuel pump. On the open highway, this car hits a hard ceiling of about 13 kilometers per liter. In the city, it drops even lower. This comparison matrix plots the direct results of utilizing a heavy chassis. It splits into two stark realities, an upward trend guaranteeing high crash survival against a downward trend capping your fuel economy at exactly 13 kilometers per liter. If you sit in stop-and-go city traffic every single day, that fuel efficiency is an absolute deal breaker. But if your weekends consist of loading up the family for long highway drives, that number becomes a calculated expense. You are effectively paying a mandatory fuel tax at the pump to wrap your passengers in iron. That focus on maximum utility creates the car's most polarizing feature, a completely flat, boxy rear end that critics often compare to a refrigerator. This overlay compares a sloping SUV roofline in red against the boxy Tata in white. The square roof retains crucial rear headspace for 6-foot passengers. It also yields a 650-liter boot, fitting 4 upright travel suitcases. If you opt for the sleeker slopes of the Korean alternatives, the rear glass cuts directly into the cargo bay, severely limiting what you can pack for a family trip. Tata drops in a massive panoramic sunroof, which floods that large cabin with light, making the interior feel cavernous without weakening the rigid roof pillars. The flat rear aesthetic is a deliberate architectural requirement for maximizing raw internal capacity, not a failure of exterior styling. Moving to the engine bay, the spec sheet shows 105 brake horsepower and 145 newton-meters of torque. On paper, that seems inadequate to move such a heavy frame. Yet owners report a surprisingly serene highway experience. Even at a sustained 140 kilometers per hour, the car remains stable and free of cabin vibrations. However, stability is not agility. The engine lacks punchy acceleration, meaning you cannot rely on it for sudden, aggressive overtaking maneuvers on a tight 2-lane road. Because the powertrain forces you to drive deliberately, you spend more time interacting with the cabin. That brings us to what your 17.6 lakhs actually buys in the Pure Plus trim. This scorecard maps the Pure Plus value. You secure major comforts like the panoramic sunroof, dual-zone AC, and a 10.25-inch screen, while dropping luxury extras. Skipping top-tier trims means manually lifting the heavy boot door using standard hydraulic struts. The Pure Plus trim stands as the pragmatic sweet spot. It delivers the daily tech comforts you actually use, while cutting out superficial luxury add-ons to strictly control the final invoice. There is no perfect compact SUV on the market. There is only the vehicle that mathematically aligns with your daily routine and your personal tolerance for risk. This chart plots your decision. Bottom left is urban commuting, design and mileage. Top right is highway hauling, safety and space. Want sleek curves and efficiency? You're in the red zone. Avoid this Tata. Need massive cargo for highways? You're in the green zone. Your ideal match. For this buyer, the car is a heavy, protective utility tool built specifically to transport a family securely from point A to point B. If absolute peace of mind and class-leading space are worth the trade-off of a 13 km per liter limit and a boxy silhouette, this 17.6 lakh Fortress is the exact right investment.